Namaste Yogis. In the past couple of weeks, we've been looking at the queen of all asanas, including her variations, weird as they may have been. Now only one question is left. Who is the king of them all? Let's find out in today's episode. The asanas are the epitome of strength, beauty, grace, and maybe some occasional weirdness. Namaste Yogi. My name is Goga, kinda like yoga. In the last year, I have shared with you foundational postures in yoga. Today, my mission is to usher you into the world of advanced postures. It is what yoga postures become when they grow up. Enjoy the practice. The yoga headstand is one of the most intensive inversions out there. Yeah, in fact, they actually say that your entire life you usually prepare for this posture. So I've probably teased you about it in previous postures. When you were doing the crow, I did for you the tripod headstand. I also did the same when you were doing the wide-legged forward fold pose, and I transitioned it into the tripod headstand. So find your way by bringing your forearms down. So this is the one modification you can do if you can't do a headstand. You can do what we call the dolphin push-ups. This is also very good on the core. So you just swing your weight forward and thrust your bum towards the back. Shift your weight forward, take it towards the back. So and so on and so forth, okay? Yeah, so you can keep doing this. Otherwise, feel free to find your forearms again onto the mat. And then see that you can clasp your fingers, okay, creating and then a nice shape with them, and then open your elbows wide such that you create a triangle, and then bring the crown of your head just in front of the interlaced fingers, and then gently start walking your feet in towards your trunk. Naturally, what will happen, your trunk ends up becoming straight at some point, and at that point your feet will start floating. So you want to maybe first of all start by hugging your knees to your chest first, and then slowly start reaching your feet up towards the sky, creating that nice perpendicular shape all the way from the feet to the crown of the head, which is down on the ground. This takes time, so you want to move in very gently and very intentionally. Again, hug your knees to your chest, and then maybe see whether you can reach the feet slowly towards the sky. Engage in your core here. Your entire weight is resting on the forearms, supported, by your hands. And then I'm trying to go play around here a bit so that I can open my feet out wide, and then gently lower down by coming into child's pose. So rest in child's pose for a moment here just to catch your breath. So we're going to do that again. Remember, avoid kicking to lift up. This is what most students usually do. So you want to totally avoid this kind of movement, okay? The other option, maybe you could walk to a wall and then see whether maybe you can use wall support by practicing against a wall. This totally actually helps make things a bit easier for you, all right? So you can either use a wall or maybe just some surface that supports that entire weight, and then gently lower down. Cool, you're ready now. So let's do a few rounds of this and get into the nitty-gritties of the posture. So again, you interlace your fingers, bring the crown of your head down, creating that nice shelf, and triangle with it, and then gently start walking your feet in until they start floating. Naturally, you'll feel like all your weight is shifted, and you'll know this because you'll know when your trunk is straight. You can make sure that you have a spotter, maybe just to check for you whether this is happening, okay? And then once you're able to reach your feet straight, see whether you can point your toes or maybe just flex your toes. So I like flexing because sometimes it helps me stretch the hamstrings, but sometimes when my feet are fully perpendicular, I like pointing them towards the sky. It kind of gives me that straight, but you can see I'm already curved here, so it means I'm not like engaging the core nicely. So I'm going to correct this again. So I gently come back down into child's pose, and then either support the wrist, one wrist on top of another, just to be able to raise the height, just to be able to get the blood. If you come out of this posture without taking child's pose, you may get a bit of a head rush, because remember, all the blood has flown to the head. So you want to avoid a bit of a head rush here. So again, I walk very nicely, and then I start lifting very slowly and intentionally, reaching my feet up towards the sky until I'm able to get my feet perpendicular to the floor underneath me. And then you just stay here. Usually we hold this posture for about, in Ashtanga practice, we hold it for about 25 counts. So you can imagine. So you want to stay here maybe for about, let me give you about 6 breaths. Inhale, in and out. And try to keep the exhale maybe a bit longer, as you stay in it. Okay. And then remember, the intention is to be able to keep your breaths going as much as you can. And if you notice that you're putting a lot of weight on top of the head, you want to bring it down and you want to just get out of the posture, because we get a lot of injuries in this posture. So the headstand is like called the king of all postures because of how it's able to take the blood all the way to the brain. I'm going to modify here by bringing my feet like, halfway, creating a nice L shape. This is now core work at play. So see whether you can create shapes with your feet. So I'm creating an L shape here. Maybe see whether you can create a diamond shape here by bringing the soles of your feet to touch and open the knees out wide. That's also an option. Another option would be to see whether you can open your feet out wide, hug your knees towards your chest, figure out what works for you. So you can open your knees out wide, point your toes, just trying to create shapes in my legs as far as I'm still here. Then maybe go back to my diamond. You can even take your feet mostly towards the back. That's also an option. You can say that you can take the feet and see whether the knees can point up towards the sky. That also works very good. So I'm just trying to buy time here just to be able to stay, because the more you stay in this posture, the more the benefits kick in, because you want blood to go up to there so that when you come down nicely, the posture will have actually worked its benefits. And then you stay here, paying attention nicely to your breath and how you're taking in the inhales and exhales. And do this moment to find stillness. Sometimes, stillness comes from, finding quietness in a posture. And that's perfectly fine, and that's what we call meditation while in a posture. Okay? Inhale, exhale. You need to slowly start preparing to get out of the posture, preparing mentally by bringing your knees in and then gently come into the child's pose. So rest in your child's pose for a moment, just to allow blood to head back, because your heart was above your head, so you need to get, your body back into its space. Then find your way into a comfortable sitting position, and maybe bring your hands to your heart center with an inhale, exhale, namaste.